Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Brief.
בשם אזרחי ישראל ובשם ממשלת ישראל, אני רוצה להביע צער עמוק על לכתו של הנשיא חוסני מובארק. הנשיא מובארק, ידיד אישי שלי, היה מנהיג שהוביל את עמו לשלום וביטחון, לשלום עם ישראל. נפגשתי איתו פעמים רבות, התרשמתי מהמחויבות שלו, ואנחנו נמשיך ללכת בדרך המשותפת הזאת. אני מבקש לשלוח תנחומים לנשיא סיסי, למשפחת מובארק ולעם המצרי.
Former Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak, age 91, has passed away. He had been in intensive care for a few weeks following surgery, but while statesmen like Prime Minister Netanyahu all over the world are sharing their condolences, the former Egyptian leader leaves a controversial legacy behind him. He was a commander in the Egyptian Air Forces and then vice president to Anwar Sadat, only to take his place in 1981 when Sadat was assassinated. Then as president, he was known for being a strong US ally and opponent of militant Islam, but he was also known for greatly expanding his powers, arresting political opponents and enforcing harsh punishments against dissenters. And this is what eventually led to his downfall. Mubarak was removed from office after 30 years in power in the midst of the Arab Spring of 2011, and he was sentenced to life in prison following the popular protests against him, in which nearly 900 civilians were killed. But in 2017, his appeals were upheld, and he was both released and cleared of most charges, including inciting the killings. Still, older Egyptians look back on his years quite fondly, and as far as regional peace with Israel is concerned, it is true that he largely preserved his predecessor's policies, including the historic Camp David Accords. The final stretch of the latest Israeli campaign season is here, but all anyone can think of is coronavirus. In fact, even Prime Minister Netanyahu has stopped shaking hands over fear of contracting the disease. In a visit to the tomb of the patriarchs in Hebron, the Likud leader is filmed refusing to outstretch his hand, while an aide whispers, "No handshakes." And other officials with the Prime Minister's office confirmed that this decision is responsible, as Netanyahu meets thousands of people every day. Meanwhile, in another responsible decision, Netanyahu is chairing discussions on Israel's economic readiness for coronavirus's consequences.
מדיניות שלנו אחת היא היערכות יתר ולא היערכות חסר, ומעל הכל זהירות ולא היסטריה.
Essentially, the new committee will be responsible for meeting daily and monitoring the trends related to Israel. It will then inform the government and the public as necessary of any changes, and the committee is comprised of representatives from Israeli banks, the Finance Ministry, and the National Security Council. But so far, what's the damage? Well, the Ministry of Finance expects a likely annual hit to the GDP of 0.25 to 1%. The Bank of Israel, on the other hand, says that if the disease both spreads and persists in the region, Israel's GDP in 2020 could be cut by nearly 3%, or $12.5 billion. Now, Israelis may be sick and tired of heading to the polls now that Israel is about to head to its third election in less than a year. But there is one positive that's come out of it: a new Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavor. That's right, Ben & Jerry's Israel is giving Israelis another reason to vote. They've created a flavor called One Sweet Vote after asking their fans what ingredients they would want inside the ice cream. And are you ready to hear what delicious concoction they've come up with? One Sweet Vote is a vanilla ice cream filled with peace symbol-shaped chocolates and chocolate-covered almonds. It also has a mix of chocolate ice cream packed with white chocolate chunks and pieces of blondie brownies. Basically, it's an explosion of everything you would ever want in your tub of ice cream. The ingredients are a bit different than what some Israelis said they wanted, though. Suggestions ranged from za'atar spice ice cream to a bamba-flavored ice cream, and one person even suggested something that leaves a bitter taste at the end. That's all for now, but for more news from Israel, remember to like ILTV on Facebook and on Instagram, and to subscribe to us on YouTube. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.